திருச்சிற்றம். ஆடும் வரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஊழியர்கோன் பொழித்த போலியர்கோன் கடல் போற்றி ஆழிமிசை கல்மிதப்பில் அணைந்த பிரான் அடி போற்றி வாழி திருநாவலூர் வன்தொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி ஊழிமலி திருவாத ஊர திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். திருச்சிற்றம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி ஏகம்பத்துரையந்தாய் போற்றி பாகம் பெண்ணொரு ஆனாய் போற்றி பராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரணே போற்றி சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி அண்ணாமலை அமன்னா போற்றி கண்ணாரமுத கடலே போற்றி காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் நிகழ்த்துகின்ற இந்த ஆங்கில தொடர் நம்முடைய கத்தார் அன்பர் தம்பதியினர் சரவணன் குடும்பத்தார் நல்ல ஆதரவோடு நிகழ்கின்ற த ஹோலி டெய்டீஸ் ஆஃப் சைவம் என்கிற தலைப்பில் தொடர்ந்து பல சைவ மூர்த்தங்களை பற்றி நாம் சிந்தித்து வருகின்றோம். We started with the great deity of Saivam, the one and only Pranava Shuruha Muhurtham, Lord Vinayaka. We started with him and we went on explaining the various aspects and various inner details about his appearance, how he was formed by our ancestors and the real theory behind its formation. We must remember that the basic concept of Saivam is God is in formless state. There is no fixed form, or we cannot attribute any details for his form. This original version is formless state. If you are going to see in real details, if you are going to analyze the real details, we need not call it as formless. We should not call it as formless because either it is formless or form or formless form. These three of the states pertain only to the form state. It is called Tadatham, that is the artificial state of the Lordship. The original state of Lordship is Param, space, Sushamam. Whatever you call, it cannot be ascertained, it cannot be studied by our senses. Not only by our senses, even by our wisdom at this state, even by our knowledge we have acquired throughout our births in this world. We have obtained certain knowledge. See, in one birth, if you are going to achieve some knowledge or some improvement in your wisdom, it's going to be retained in your next birth also. As Thiruvalluvar says, whatever you gain in knowledge, it comes birth after birth. For 7 births, he would say. So, the clearance in the wisdom, it continues throughout the births. Okay, with the knowledge and with the wisdom state, we cannot study, we cannot understand the real status of the Lordship. You understand? See, we are in this world, and if we are trying to measure something away from this world, a quantum or something that is to be measured away from this world, means how can you be here itself and measure that item? You cannot measure it. So, likewise, God is away from all these artificial states. He never comes down to the artificial states, but how he takes forms, is it not? We are worshipping them in the temple or in our houses, in our pujas. It is because of his mercy he accepts the state temporarily. It's only a temporary phenomena or a temporary arrangement for the souls to stick on to the concept of the holiness or the Lordship. It's only a temporary arrangement, as we can say. A temporary arrangement is only worshipping a deity. Once you get developed in your wisdom, in your knowledge, then our ancestors, as a matter of fact, they expect we should perform our puja within ourselves. Within ourselves. See, if I quote the statement, if I quote this statement, I don't think I am deviating from a subject, because wherever good things are there, we can adopt them, nothing wrong. See, if somebody says some good thing about a God, we can accept, isn't it? But that will be found in our Saivam also. I used to come across a quote in Gospel that the Jesus Christ, he utters in his own words that the kingdom of God is within yourself, not in the buildings built with the furniture and lime and mortar. It is the kingdom, the kingdom is within yourself. If you split a wood, you will find him there. That is the saying that I came across. You just see the kingdom is within yourself, means it is a statement against the people understood that statement as if he has uttered against the existing churches. Let us not go into those details. We will stick on to our subject. What I am trying to say is, in other religions also, they accept that the kingdom of the God, the kingdom of God is within ourselves. The word within ourselves, what does it define actually? How to be defined? How to define? How that word is to be defined, and how we should define that the kingdom of God is within yourself. See, God is only in its original state is in Sorubam. It's a natural state of existence which we cannot understand, because we are not in natural state. We have come down to an artificial state. What we assume now, what we have taken, that is the body with the tools called tattvams. With all these things, we are not naturally existing. We are not in a naturally existing state. We are in an artificial state. So, in an artificial state, tadatham, in an artificial state, soul is in its artificial state. It has to reach, it has to understand. So, what we do is, we I cannot claim us, we should say that our ancestors, our mentors, our gurus, they offered this type of worship, that is, we can pray, we can offer our prayer, we can perform puja externally for a deity. He comes into the form. He accommodates himself into the form within God. So it is his mercy. To start with, our puja starts with the deities, but as time goes, there should be a stage where you need not require these deities for your puja. You must be able to feel him within yourself, and you must be able to perform puja within yourself. As a matter of fact, kindly understand that performing puja within yourself is more powerful. Is more powerful than performing puja externally. So, with this in mind, we must be able to see. People are saying that you are worshipping so many forms, so many deities, so many gods. Out of ignorance, they are charging this. Out of ignorance, they were not able to understand why such a system exists in Saivam. Why such a system exists in Saivam? Nothing wrong in giving so many forms for a single lordship, for a single God. He is the only one God, one and only God, one and only Almighty, no substitute, none to be compared, or nobody to be thought of above him. Such a personality, such a being, it is called Param. It assumes forms, it takes forms, because it somehow or other wants to attract the souls. Souls are they are being dormanted, they are being embraced. Their knowledge is full of with ignorance, and they are not able to understand themselves or anything else. So God has come forward to clarify or clear its ignorance little by little. The process is only clearance of ignorance from our wisdom little by little, and there are so many arrangements for the removal of ignorance from the wisdom. And one of the arrangement is performing puja for a deity. Of course, it is arrangement only, it is an arrangement made only by the Lordship, only by the Almighty. It has been approved by Him. It has been approved by Him. Then it is no point in doing a puja for a deity which is not accepted by our Lordship or Almighty. He has agreed, He has accepted. So, in such a state, to start with, to begin with, to develop our bhakti, we can pray, perform pujas, we can offer our prayers in front of a deity which we consider that for our sake, the Almighty comes and takes this form. It is coming down, as a matter of fact. It will be explained as Avahanam. Avahanam means it is everywhere. We are, see, the air is everywhere. The air is everywhere. Now what we do is we pump the air into a tube deliberately. We are pumping the air. Yeah, air is everywhere. But we are pumping it in a tube so that the tube will be useful for us in a cycle or in a motorcycle or in a car or something like that. What is inside a tube? Inside a tube is air. Air is also everywhere. But everywhere air is there, but it takes a form of tire or tube here. The air takes a form of a tube, and in that form it is useful for us. Is it not? It is useful for us. Likewise, we are not claiming that God is only available or exists in the deity itself, but we are well aware, we Saivites are well aware, God cannot be thrust into a small deity. We cannot drive him into a small doll or a small deity. We cannot drive him into a small article. But he takes that form, that is called Avahanam. Doing Avahanam means we are requesting him, oh my Lord, I am not able to concentrate on a state of your original state. Please come down to this state, take this form so that I will offer your prayer, assuming that you are in this form and you are this form and you are here. So that is the theory behind it. So other religions need not look at us as if we are ignorant of its the Lordship's original state. We are well aware, and we can even teach them, because they are talking only about a formless state, Arvam. We have gone above that. Arvam is also one of the state of Urvam. Formless state is also a state of form. State of form. See earth, you can touch it, you can see it. What about the fire? You cannot touch it, but you can see it. That is why it is claimed as formless form. Fire is formless form. What about wind? Will you say that it is Swarupam? No, it is formless, that's all. It is formless. It can be sensed by our senses. It can be felt by our skin. The wind can be felt by our skin. So, kindly understand that the formless state is different from the original state. Original means the natural state. The naturally existing state of the Almighty is not formless. It is Swarupam. It is Swarupam, which cannot be understood by our existing setup of these senses or wisdom. It is incompetent to measure a form of God or the Swarupam with our existing tools. Something is to be measured, something is to be understood, means you must have proper tools. Is it not? Without the proper tools, you cannot understand. For example, if you want to see an article, its color, I am asked, what is the color of that article? I may have the eye, but if the room is going to be very dark, how can I say the color? I want the proper tool of light. Only under the shade of light I can say what color is that article is having. Is it not? Likewise, if something is to be measured, something is to be understood, you must have the consent and proper tools. But to understand the Lordship, to understand God, do you think you have adequate or competent tools you have? Do you have to measure His might, to measure His mercy, to measure His height? No, we don't have tools. Only our ancestors, they were able to feel Him, they were able to understand Him, they were able to see Him in some form. Those forms are transferred to us. That's all. Oh, God is so merciful. He comes down to some forms, so that we will be able to understand, we will be able to realize or feel. I have to be very careful in putting up words, because if a worldly thing I am talking about means I can use worldly words. There are a lot of words to describe a worldly thing, but I cannot use all the words that are used to describe these earthly objects to describe the heavenly bodies. You understand? So, as a matter of fact, God is out of our reach in thoughts, in talk, or in our senses. It is out of reach. You cannot see Him, you cannot hear Him, because incompetent tools. Can you just, since you are having the eyesight is very nice for a man, very nice. The eyesight is very nice. If I ask him to hear a song and tell me his reaction, he hear the song and tell me the reaction. He says, I cannot comment on this. I cannot comment on this. Why? Because I am deaf. I will not be able to hear this song. How can I comment? You are having a good sight. Is it not irrelevant? To hear a song, you must be having the hearing sensitivity properly. Your hearing sense should be intact, in proper form to hear a song. What is the fun of having a good eye? Can you just hear a song with your eye? No, eye is only for sight, ear is only for hearing, tongue is only for taste. Is it not? The classifier, it cannot do the other thing. So, with these senses, do you think that the most powerful, the omnipresent, omnipotent God can be understood by these tools? No, not at all. It is not supposed to. Our ancestors never say that, see the God with your eyes, hear Him with your ears. No, not like this. They say, if you believe, if you shower the love, if you shower the love on a deity in that form, my God is here, He takes this form, He comes in, He assumes this form. Suppose if you believe sincerely, honestly, and if you are able to shower your love by putting flowers, by lighting a lamp, if you saw all these things only because you are expressing your love in different forms, that is the prayer, isn't it? What do you mean by prayer? Expressing our love to the Almighty. That's all. Prayer is nothing but showing our love to Him. People have misunderstood that. Prayer means going and giving Him all sorts of requests. No, submitting our request is not called a prayer. showing our love to him is called a prayer. Prayer without any request, without any demand, it is truthful and honest and sincere. குற்றாலத் தமர்ந்துவையும் கூத்தா உன் குறைகளற்கே கற்றாவின் மனம் போல கசிந்துருக வேண்டுவனே. Okay, so why I am telling all these things as an introduction, because since we say that the holy deities of Saivam, we should not think that the Saivites are pivoted or they are very keen on only deities and they believe only deities as the form of God. They should not think like that. We very well know that it is one of the forms God takes because of our sake. Since we show our love, we are able to focus, we are able to shower in this form. He is ready to come and accept that love in that form. You understand? Sir, I am asking a friend of mine to come and meet me. He is asking where to come to meet you. I tell him there is one Ashok pillar near Ashok Nagar. Okay, I will come there and meet you. So to keep up my promise, I was there at Ashok pillar to meet him. He came. He met me. We exchanged the details. When he departed, he went away. When he was asked by his wife, where did you go? I was there at Ashok Nagar, Ashok pillar to meet my friend. Where is your friend? He is in Ashok pillar. The wife asked her, is your friend living there? No, he is at Ashok pillar. I met him there. He is at Ashok pillar. Since he met me there, will he or his spouse will believe that I dwell or I reside at Ashok pillar itself? Of course, they met me there. Likewise, deity is a place where I see my God at the time of my prayer. But I should not think that it is his permanent residence and he will be there only. And if at all I want to meet him, I will go only there and meet him. Not like that. Can I say, can my friend claim that if at all I want to meet Sivakumar, I have to go to Ashok pillar and I have to meet him? Can he claim? Likewise, it is a meeting place. It is an indication both sides agreed. That's all. Both sides agreed. Ashok pillar, he also agreed. Ashok pillar, I also agreed. We met there. The soul also agreed with Somaskandar. Lord also agreed with Somaskandar. So we both met at the deity of Somaskandar. I think you are able to understand the concept behind the deities of the Saivam. In the last week, we discussed about the Ammayappar. Ammayappar, the deity of Ammayappar. As Manivasagar rightly puts, Tonmai Kolam. Through the ages, Lord Siva was worshipped only in that form, Tonmai Kolam, and he is being worshipped now also in Ammayappar Kolam, in all temple festivals. The another very important form of Lord Siva with his spouse in our temples is Somaskandar. Somaskandar. How can we really understand, first of all, the name Somaskandar? There is no problem in one part of the name. That part is Skandar. Okay, no problem. Skandar means in that form our Lord Muruga takes a position. Okay, he is there. And then if we take the balance part of the name, Soma, what does it mean? Soma means, Soman means moon. Soman means moon. How does it come and fit in here? People say Somaskandar, Somaskandar. Since the Lord has the crescent in his pit, he is called Soman. No. Then what about goddess Shakti? She is also there. So, the name goes like this. It has to be analyzed only in this pattern. Somaskandar should be as Saga Uma Skandar. Saga Uma Skandar. Saga Uma Skandar. Saga means accompanying, along with. Saga means along with or accompanying. So, accompanying with whom? Uma Skandar. Uma, goddess Shakti, no problem. And Skandar, no problem. Saga accompanying, along with. So, it implies that Lord Shiva accompanying with Uma and Skandar. That is Somaskandar. Saga, Uma, Skandar. A very nice form of Lord Shiva with his spouse and son. Of course, if we say that spouse and son, then people look at us, then say, oh, your Lord is also having a family. Yes, a family without ration card. It's a family, of course. A family with no Aadhaar cards. It is called Siva Kudumbam, of course. Shiva Kudumbam, the family of Shiva is called. Okay, but there is a real theory behind this form. Something to be understood along with the principles of Saivam. See, whatever form is given in Saivam for prayer or offering prayer or worship, then there should be some meaning, there should be some theory, there should be some formula to be adopted for this form. Just like that, they will not assume any form. No forms are like that. As our people rightly put it, Agamam has approved some forms. Only we can install or pray or offer only for those form of deities or forms. We can offer our prayer, we can pray because we are licensed. We can use that word. It is only it is a license. See, unless otherwise, if it is specified in, if it is, unless otherwise it is specified, prescribed in Agamam, you don't have right to install, paint, sculpture or carve, anything you cannot do, unless otherwise it is approved in Agamam. The first thing Saivat will ask if he sees form of Lord Shiva, he will immediately ask, ஆகமத்தில் இருக்கா இது, இது ஆகமத்தில் இருக்கா அப்படின்னு தான். They will ask the question whether it finds a place in ஆகமம். Unless otherwise, if it is approved by ஆகமம், we will not accept, we will not allow to install it in our temple. We are very strict in that. But nowadays, if you see, in our tradition temples, some new deities being installed, some new photos are being hung there. On what basis they are being allowed? It should not be allowed, is it not? We cannot put a sannadhi if we want to pray some god. We are not supposed to do that. When we were to a temple in Acharapakam some time back, we were seeing a group of people worshipping with a photograph that is called Shirdi Sai Baba. I don't have any objection to pray Shirdi Sai Baba by people. I don't have any objection. But how can it be taken into a temple and be allowed there to be installed or hung there inside a temple campus? Not only that picture, in one of the temples I saw Kalki Bhagavan photo, a very big photo. A group of people rushed into the temple, offered prayers for that photo. Then everybody after finishing, everybody went away. No soul went near the Mulavar, the primary deity. No fellow in that group went near the primary deity and worshipped. Everybody just cleared. How can we allow those people to come into the temple and offer prayer to a photo which has not been accepted or approved or not at all visualized in our agamams? So it is the responsibility of the Shivacharyas, Oduvars, or the temple authorities to look into the fact that the tradition of the temple should not be tampered with any other thing. They should be very careful. So if you do that, then it is very dangerous for your family. You may be very cunning. You may do like that, and you may just go away thinking that nobody has seen or nobody can catch me or something like that. If you think no, it is an apacharam, Siva apacharam, you will be properly, if you do that, you will be properly punished. You cannot run away from you cannot avoid the punishment. Don't do like that. Never go and pray another deity, another primary deity inside a Shiva temple. The primary deity, the Karuvarai, if you must pay the prayers only to him. On his behalf, to some other deities there, which are also there praying the primary deity, you may pay the respect. But leaning down on the floor, standing near the flagmast, and offering prayers can be done only for the primary deity. So please be careful. Never pray anything else inside a Shiva temple. Only our prayer for Lord Shiva. Okay, now let us come to this the Somaskandar. Somaskandar, it's a very nice form, very sacred and holy form. If you just see there is our goddess, there is our Skandan, there is our Lord Shiva with 4 hands, one hand blessing style, another hand, another astam. Astam means the hand. Another one is pointing down. Is it not? I am just able to see. It is only Varadam then adu. Varadam. So one pair is Abhayam and Varadam. And another pair, one of the hands is holding Maju, the weapon. Another one is holding the deer. You understand? What does it indicate, that deer? As a matter of fact, it indicates the Prakriti Maya. That is called Man. Only through that he has given us these senses, this Anma Tattva. We have already discussed about those things. You have been given tools of Anma Tattvam, 24, out of that Prakriti. So I have given you the Thula body, hands, legs, and all the 5 Jnanendriyam, Kanvendriyam, all these tools I have given you to make yourself fit for my grace. Talaye nee vanangai, kangal kanmingalo. Upper Swami has given all those details. So, Man, it indicates, of course, there are other stories about that. There is one forest, Targa Vanam. There is one Targa Vanam. It's a forest. There were some people, saints, who were performing yagas, and they were claiming that everything can be achieved and obtained through the yagas, and no Lord or Almighty is at all necessary. Not at all necessary. So they want to eliminate Lord Shiva, and they performed yagams, and out of the yagam this deer came out to kill Lord Shiva. It was driven by them to kill Lord Shiva. It came there, and Lord Shiva took it in his hand, and he has kept it there. This was the Puranic story they would be saying, but as a matter of fact, the Saivisindhandam, what does it show? What does it indicate? Or what does it imply? What does it give? Is this Man means Prakriti Maya. Prakriti Maya means only out of which we have got our body. All these tools, this Thula body, everything we got only from out of that. Our heart, our Sittam, all these things are generated only from the Prakriti Maya. So, it is an indication that I have offered you, I have given you the Thula body of a human being now. You are being offered Thula body of a human being. Use that properly. That's what he indicates. Then with a flower, lotus, in her right hand, Goddess Parvati is there. She is there that I will blossom your life. I am always there to help you, give my grace. And Lord Muruga is also there. That in toto, what does it indicate? In toto, the Lord Shiva indicates Sat. Goddess Uma indicates Sit. God Muruga indicates Anandam. So, in total, it is called Sat, Sit, Anandam, Satchidanandam. The entire thing is Satchidanandam. It means the soul deserves to be happy forever. The God is ready to part with the bliss. He is having it in abundant measure. Nothing is going to be lost if we are going to enjoy his bliss. It is in abundant measure, enough quantity for all the souls to be accommodated. So the Sat means the eternal existence. The eternal existence is called Sat, Nilai, Nilaitha Tanmai. In Tamil it is called Nilaitha Tanmai. Adiya Tanmai. Immortal. So the God Lord Shiva indicates the eternal existence or the indestructible. Soul is also like that. Soul is Sat. That is the only thing that can be compared with the Lord Shiva. Means Sat, Sivam Sat, Uyirum Sat. Of course, what about its wisdom? Sit. Sit means Jnanam. The problem is only with the Jnanam. The problem is it thinks that it is having Jnanam without that Jnanam. So it அறியாமையே அறிவு என்று எடுத்துக்கொள்வது ஆன்மா. Only that I translated. அறியாமையை அறிவு என்று எடுத்துக்கொள்வது ஆன்மா. See, அறியாமையை அறிவு, I think my ignorance is my wisdom. Something I am ignorant, I don't understand, I assume something, and I think that is the real thing. After some time it gets cleared. Oh, I was thinking like that. It's not true. Okay. Now the ignorance, once a time it was wisdom, now it is known as ignorance. So the thing which looks now wisdom will come to be an ignorance in future. We may think today that is being wisdom. Sometime after, some years after that, we will come to know that it is ignorance. The ignorance we have been thinking of as wisdom. So many examples I can give. So many things are running in your mind on hearing this. You also know so many things you assumed as wisdom, and now you understand those things are ignorance. Ignorance. We mistake somebody and we boast ourselves, I have found him, that fellow is a bad fellow, I have found. But after some time, after some years, no, I was mistaken. He is very nice. At that time, I don't have real wisdom to understand him. Take for example, how many small boys or even matured boys are, how can I put that word? So many sons are having grudges against their daddies, fathers. No sir, he is always drilling. What are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Why are you going there? All these things drilling. Say he doesn't understand. A matured son will go wherever he likes and he will be taking care of himself. He is not understanding, sir. He will be blaming the father, thinking that he is having wisdom. He will mistake his father. But after some years, after 10 to 15 years, when he is going to have a son, he will teach him that lesson. Hey, my dad, you are a fool. Thinking about your father. Then he will understand why I have misunderstood my father. What he was teaching me was right. I mistook him on the other day. So these things are happening in our life, routine life, mistaking something, thinking something right, and then correcting ourselves. No, it is not correct, it is wrong. Something is wrong. Is it not? Some people will say after marriage 1 or 2 months, sir, my wife is very, very nice, sir. Sir, she is showing love on me. Sir, she will not exist without me, sir. All these dialogues, I can see your grinning face. Is it not a personal experience? See, things we are not wise always. Is it not? And our wisdom will go on change. It will change its decisions. It will change its policies. It will change its principles. Very, very swiftly it will change. So, the ignorance covering or embracing completely our wisdom is to be removed little by little in all our births. The process is going on. So finally, when we reach the completely free state of our wisdom from ignorance, is called Pati Jnanam. Why it is called Pati Jnanam means it is free from all ignorance. It is free from all dirt. It is pure and nascent wisdom. That is called Pati Jnanam. That Pati Jnanam is called the grace. That is our God, Goddess Shakti, Thiruvarul Shakti. So, that is called Sit. Sat is Lord Shiva, Sit is Goddess Shakti. Once if you possess these two, then which is going to prevent you from enjoying the bliss? The bliss means boundless happiness, pure happiness. That is called the bliss or Anandam. So, you are already Sat, that is, you are already indestructible. You are indestructible soul. You cannot be destroyed. That is true. You have wisdom. It is another important factor. The only thing is it is being spoiled, it is being covered, or it is being fully what we can call embalmed with ignorance. Now the process is, if you are able to remove the ignorance and make your wisdom free from the anavam, that is the ignorance, the darkness, if you are able to do that, then you deserve, you are fit enough, you are competent to enjoy the bliss. The bliss is ready with Lord Kandan. So, Saha Umaskandan, Somaskandar means you come to me, make your prayer, think that your prayer is for purifying your wisdom. So, the prayer means purifying the wisdom, driving away the ignorance. So, that is the main idea. So, when we see the Somaskandar, we must understand that the soul is eternal, immortal. Soul is immortal, okay. So, I must go to a being which is also immortal. And at the same time, I should understand that my mind, my wisdom is with a corrosion, with a corrosive factor, or being tormented, or being covered, or being what we can call spoiled. Any word you can use. Our wisdom in its nascent state is very pure, but it has been covered by the ignorance called Anava Malam. The wisdom is not at all feelable or visible because of the presence of ignorance fully. How can we cite an example for this means? See, in a firewood, fire is inside the wood. Fire is inside the wood. If it catches fire and if it glows, that fire is inside. But fire inside, can you see just if you split the log or if you split the wood, can you see the fire? No, you cannot see the fire because fire is inside, but fire is in the form of wood. So your wisdom is there, but it is in the form of anavam, ignorance. It is in the form of ignorance. So likewise, it is in the form of ignorance. காராரும் ஆணவ காட்டை களைந்து அறக்கண்டு அகங்காரம் என்னும் கல்லை பிளந்து. That's how Taimanavaar says. So the Anandam it doesn't come just like that. Anandam. So only after purification of your mind, purification of your wisdom, See, wisdom is inherent or part and parcel of the soul. Soul means wisdom, wisdom means soul. They cannot be separated. They cannot be separated. It's an inherent property of soul is wisdom. So we are different from the worldly articles, worldly other things, inner things. They don't have wisdom, inner things. They don't have sorrows and joys. We only have sorrows and joys. Since we have wisdom, we have these sorrows and joys. So that wisdom part, you must be able to understand that soul means it cannot be separated from its wisdom. It's an inherent property of soul, the wisdom. This wisdom being spoilt by Anava Malam, it has been completely covered, completely taken charge by the Anava Malam. So our primary culprit, our primary enemy is the ignorance in our wisdom, nothing else. So we must be able to understand all our deities, Saivam deities, are indications of the principles of Saiva Siddhantam. If you just analyze, if you just proved, then you will be able to understand that the principle of Saiva Siddhantam will be depicted, will be incorporated in the form of the deities. We must be properly able to understand those principles and offer our prayers and should gain the real values of the deities. So in Somaskandar, we have these three deities put in a single form. They cannot be separated. Even though we have three deities there, it is not a three deity form. It is only a single deity, it is called. Its name is Somaskandar, in which there are three deities. There are three forms, but it is a single form by name, Somaskandar. So we have a picture where no garlands are there, no lamps, and no garments are there, no garlands are there, and we are able to see the deities very neatly and we are able to understand correctly. So very nice photograph being put up by our Renuka Ramesh. We have to thank her. She has taken it from elsewhere and she has displayed here, and we were able to discuss the details of the Somaskandar, and it is one of the deities. Somaskandar is one of the forms, one of the deities of Saivam, and we have given some details, and we are going to continue the details in our next session also, the same form, and we will carry on with other forms also. With this, I am just concluding this session, and I am going to recite the 5-lettered mantra 5 times. Kindly follow me. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Tiruchitrambalam. I have to thank the Qatar couple, Mrs. and Mr. Saravanan, for sponsoring this program, so that people not well versed in Tamil, they will be able to appreciate the details of our deities, holy deities of Saivam. With this, I am just concluding. Let us meet in the next session to be held on 26th of this month at 12 noon. Thank you. Tiruchitrambalam. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.